Thanks for clicking on to the Tuesday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. Hope everybody is safe and well wherever you are. Before we continue with the video, be sure to like, share and subscribe. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the long range. Is February going to deliver the cold that I expect to see, or is it going to be a bust? We're going to look at some of the evidence to support the fact that I think we still have got plenty of winter to come. There is many dismissing that winter is now over. As I said a couple of days ago, be careful in terms of writing off winter. I still think that we've got plenty to come. But we are going to look at the interesting information that has recently come out of the Met Office. It looks as if the hamlet of Achfari in Sutherland, Northwest Highlands, has surpassed the 19.6 achieved at Kinlochhew as the new record holder for January in the UK. 19.9 Celsius. Now this is preliminary and it has still to be verified by the Met Office, but it was actually Willie Mossop. This is a tweet here on the right hand side. You can see talking about the fact that Achfari back only a few years ago set a new December record for warmth. And if you look back at a tweet here by the Met Office, this was the case back in December of 2019 when a reading of 18.7 Celsius was achieved here at this hamlet. So it looks as if Achfari is becoming the place to be for record winter warmth in the UK, and this might be a little bit of a surprise given the fact that it's the Northwest Highlands. You would typically expect to see cold conditions as opposed to record warmth. It is actually all thanks to the geography of this particular region, and when you get a very strong southwesterly wind blowing, as we did back on Sunday afternoon, it can surprise many that this can be the hotspot of the UK. So not your typical Gravesend or Northolt, Greater London, where you would typically expect to see the hottest conditions, especially during the summer season. But it appears to be the Northwest Highlands that is the prime spot for record-breaking warm conditions during the winter season. And Achfari may very well now hold the record for both December and January as well. What an incredible contrast and turnaround we are seeing compared to Sunday afternoon. These are the maximum temperatures across the British Isles, and you can see that we actually had the lowest values anywhere in the UK down across East Anglia, the southeast of England during Sunday afternoon. And it was up in the North Highlands where only 10 days previous to this we were struggling to get above freezing. We had 6 to 12 inches of snow widely. Temperatures on Sunday afternoon 14 to 17 Celsius widely to the north of the Inverness area. And you know the area between Kinlochhew and Achfari was close to 20 Celsius. Look at the difference temperatures were yesterday afternoon. Monday afternoon, we had a temperature difference of at least 12 to 15 Celsius below what we've seen on Sunday afternoon. So the very areas that were 16, 17 Celsius Sunday, only 3.5 at Loch Lascarnock. And the temperature yesterday morning dropped down to minus 2.5. Now, these are the temperatures late last night across the northern half of the UK, down to minus 5, minus 6 Celsius. So what an incredible turnaround this has become in just 36 hours across the northern half of the British Isles. You can see here, late evening last night, we had temperatures still well in the double figures across the Midlands, southeastern half of the country. So it's the power of wind and a cold front, and therefore a lack of wind, that has brought an incredible turnaround across the northern half of the UK in particular. We also seen an incredible contrast between north and south over the UK as well. You can see the temperatures close to the freezing mark, southern Scotland, while we've got 10, 11, 12 Celsius across the southern half of the British Isles here. So fascinating stuff across the UK, that's for sure. This has been an incredible month. Very cold conditions, -14 at Dalwhinnie, a foot of snow widespread across the north. Then we've seen temperatures knocking on the door of 20 Celsius, two named storms to speak about as well. So it has been an extreme month. January 2024 is turning out to be. So, where do we stand as we step into winter's final month? That's a big question, isn't it? And many people are dismissing winter, especially when you're talking about temperatures close to 20 Celsius. Understand where people are coming from, I suppose, because it is hard to imagine winter coming back when you're talking about temperatures of 20 Celsius in the middle portions of winter. And I didn't see it coming, I have to be honest with you. Knew it was a mild spell coming up as we moved beyond the 20th of the month, but I didn't quite see 20 Celsius coming. The models didn't see it, the Met Office didn't see it, and I don't think the best meteorologist on the planet would have seen a temperature quite as warm as that. So here's the evidence to support the fact that I still think cold is coming during the month of February. How long and how strong will be open to questioning. But you can see the Mandela oscillation, something that I've been harping on about for the whole winter so far. It has now entered a third full rotation, both through the cold phases as well as the warm phases. We've now come well out of phases 4 and 5, which has delivered the very, very mild conditions both over North America and Europe that we're seeing at the moment. But there is a lag. It takes time for the atmosphere to respond. And bear in mind that the Mandela oscillation is a teleconnection, a driver that is present over the tropics. So therefore, it takes some time to see the influence of this pulse of enhanced convection rotating through the maritime continent, which delivered the mild, strong blocking high pressure over both North America and Europe, the negative over Greenland, which delivered temperatures back down to -58 at the summit camp in recent days. It will take time for that warmth to then lift northwards and reshape, recast the atmosphere across the northern hemisphere. But in phase 7 we are in at the moment, and both the Arctic oscillation is expected to go from firm positive into negative territory. You notice here this big sharp drop off between firm positive, +3, +4 sigma above the neutral line. We go then into negative territory here. So it's seeing the atmosphere change from deep negative over the Arctic region, representing a strong positive Arctic oscillation. That means that all the cold air is bottled up over the Arctic region. But we're already starting to see signs of cooling taking place over far northern Canada. The North Atlantic oscillation is still projected to go to neutral, but I expect to see this trending more negative as we go into the month of February. So how's the pattern going to change? Another aspect to consider is the stratosphere. So what's actually quite interesting, this is a week from now, and you're looking at this chart and saying to yourself, Mark, what the heck are you talking about? It looks as if the polar vortex is strengthening over top of the Arctic. And you know what? You would be 100% correct at that. But this is at the very top of the stratosphere, 10 millibars here. So this is a week from now, and the polar vortex is expected to strengthen at the 10 millibar level. However, let's have a look and see where we're at currently at 70 millibars, and it is a very different look. Now you notice here two standout things. Remember what's happening within the Mandela oscillation. It is entering the phase of 7, and that correlates to northerly blocking over Greenland and the North Atlantic, and a negative North Atlantic oscillation, cold UK winter conditions. So if we look at the back at the lower portion of the stratosphere, bearing in mind that at 70 millibars that is the lowest portion of the stratosphere, and you can see that it is indicating that we have got blocking both over the North Pacific, North America, and we actually have the core of strongest blocking now evident, now present at 70 millibars over Greenland and the North Atlantic. To then back up the idea that I'm talking about, let's have a look at the long range models. First of all, here is the ECMWF weeklies. This is for the upcoming 7-day period. Blowtorch over North America, blowtorch over Europe, including the UK and Ireland here. So, very, very mild conditions at the moment here, but just keep in mind what I showed you with regards to the 70 millibar level within the stratosphere and also the MJO. This is now for the period between what would this be? This would be the period between the 17th and the 24th of February, and you have a complete flip around in the upper air pattern. All of a sudden, we go from the blowtorch and the positive over North America and Europe to now the strong positive North Atlantic, Greenland, Arctic region with the trough over Europe and over North America here. Isn't it interesting how close this looks to what we're seeing at 70 millibars within the lower stratosphere here? So there is a mirror image showing up here in the models, and these models have been showing this now for quite some time. Is it a guarantee that the cold pool sets up over the UK and Ireland? No, it isn't, because we need to still find out exactly how that ridge, as it retrogrades up towards Greenland, behaves, how much cold is available. I still think that because we've now collected all the cold within the Arctic region once again, and then if this happens to materialize, then I would expect to see net drainage both over North America as well as into Europe here. So this is the ECMWF weeklies. Let's play through the loop and see the evolution of the pattern here, going to what I'm talking about here. So you can see as we play through the loop here, this is off the weeklies, bear in mind, there's the trough now sliding into the UK, Ireland, and the majority of Europe. Look at how the heights then start to congregate over Greenland and over the Arctic region. You notice here that the strongest of heights is arguably over the very region that the heights are strongest within the 70 millibar level. How interesting is that, right? Now, to support the fact that I'm not just showing you exactly what I want to show you to back up my theory or my idea, let's have a look and see what the GFS extended, the ensemble, is indicating. Upcoming 7 days, same thing as the ECMWF, blowtorch ridge over North America and over Europe here. As we play through the loop, you can see here the same idea as what the ECMWF is showing here. We've got that relocation of the ridge and the trough. We're turning the upper air pattern on its head. We're starting to see all that strong blocking now starting to show up over the Arctic, over the North Atlantic, and over Greenland. And this would certainly support the idea that I'm talking about. It's the coinciding with the stratospheric warming situation that we've seen a week to 10 days ago. The Manjulian oscillation in phase 7 likely to go into phases 8. It all comes together very nicely indeed. Now, the timing of this change is still open to question, and it's something that I'm not entirely sure about. I know that we're going to stay warm final days of January into the early portions of February here, and the question remains, when do we see the transition, the changeover? Now, like I say, there is no guarantees when it comes to meteorology. We do not know for sure that this is guaranteed to happen, but I think it's safe to say that, it's all looking very, very promising indeed. And you can understand, you can at least see where I'm getting this from, rather than it just being a wish cast, clickbait. It's none of that, folks. It is simply showing you exactly the evidence to back up the ideas that I've had. And this all plays in very nicely to the long-term scenario. GFS Ensemble, finally. Look at the GFS Ensemble for the 850 temperature profile over London. You can see the trend from warmer than average, firmly warmer than average at that, towards colder than average at 5,000 feet over London as we move towards the middle portions of February. Stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow with more weather updates. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.